Welcome, everybody. This is a new show. This is the Moving Beyond Trauma podcast with me, Kate Brassington, coaching psychologist and trauma-informed coach, and Tracey Moys, House of Colour consultant, Chattannooga-Hixson. And what we're going to talk about today and massively bring to life for you is a subject very dear to both our hearts. Because listen, y'all don't need a podcast or training on how to hide. How to get invisible. You're all good at that already. What we're going to bring to life for you right now is top tips for when you really want to be seen and heard.
I think that's over to me now. So thank you for having me back. I am going to do what we call a divest. So it's basically a demonstration of what happens to me when I take away what we call points of interest. So points of interest are things like accessories. They are things like texture. They're things like our hair or our glasses. They are all the things that are unique to us that take that t-shirt and those jeans to something more elevated. So they make us unique, they make us visible, they make us memorable. So sometimes we struggle with either wanting to be those things, not knowing how to do it, or we do it and we're memorable for the wrong reasons. So it's about doing it correctly. If I put Kate's necklace on and her glasses and her earrings, well, I'd look like I was playing in the dressing up box, and that's not the idea. The idea is to actually just look like me so that you get what it says on the tin. Mm-hmm. Right. So if you were here in person, then I would do like the full body, but you know, we're living in Zoom world, so we're going to just do the top half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start removing. Okay, I promise that this is totally PG, is totally fine.
Oh, that would be so funny.
But I've just taken off my scarf. Okay, it's fine. And I'm doubly prepared. So I have the necklace on because, you know, sometimes people wear scarves for warmth, don't they? And then they want to take them off. I'm going to now take off my armor.
Mm-hmm. Now, we talked about it in the podcast. So if you need to hear what she's talking about with armor, how to wear your armor, then the jacket is part of that magic, and listen to the podcast.
So now I very specifically chose a color that's in my softer end because I wanted this to have big impact. I could have been wearing a really bright color. It would have had a lot less impact. So yes, I have chosen this with some thought. I'm going to now take out my earrings. I'm not going to take my hair off. You'll be happy to know. I'm going to take off my necklace. Okay, sort of the penultimate point of color. Wow. I know I feel very naked.
Yes.
I feel very bare. I feel very exposed. So very few people actually see me anymore with nothing on my chest in this area at the boathouse, you know, when I'm rowing my children, when I'm in my pajamas. So this is not usually a person facing, you know, an outer world facing experience anymore. And now I'm going to take off the ever magical lip color.
Wow. So me watching you, you seem vulnerable.
I feel vulnerable.
Yeah. Like not fragile. People get really wound up about the word vulnerable. I just mean this is intimate.
Yeah, well, you think about that. Like you're taking off all the artifice, and artifice in the fact that I've added it on, right? It's external to my body and I've added it on. So if I was standing, I would take off my belt, I'd take off my shoes, I'd take off my watch and my rings as well that I'm wearing. And yes, I am wearing proper shoes because I always wear proper shoes, even on a Zoom call, on a podcast, right? So now I'm just going to add it back in, right? So this is how most people live their lives.
Yeah.
Oh, I wear makeup except lipstick. Right? I still have a full face of makeup on.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to start making myself again. I already feel better. I like quite weighty necklaces. It's quite a sensory experience for me. Yeah. Gonna put my And notice my body language. It'll be quite subtle, but you could probably see that I sat up a bit more. I could feel my just feel stronger just by putting the necklace on. It might be mental, who knows? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why, really, only that it is.
Yeah.
Right? And I know, if you're listening to Kate, you know there's a lot about embodiment, right? Now, okay.
Yeah, I think you've sat up. That's just the I think it's even just putting a jacket on makes you sit up better.
Oh yeah, well, I feel like I'm in charge again, right? No, I think podcast, but I kind of am, because it's like the Tracey show at the minute. All right, so I put that back on. Now, when I was doing the podcast, I actually didn't have the scarf on, but I'm doing it for show. I'm putting my earrings back in. Okay. Now you think about earrings like, oh, they're just earrings, but right, they frame your face.
Yeah,
they're
certainly
still on your face.
Yeah.
Right, and then of course the magic.
Oh yeah, here comes the magic. So this is the bit I always skip. I know.
I'm back.
Wow, and you're back.
I
can see your eyes more. So I still feel that I'm here with you, but it's not that kind of bare and intimate experience. In fact, it's easier in a Zoom box, easier in a professional way to be here with you, because I'm not quite so confronted by your vulnerability.
Yes.
I feel like you're going to be able to cope with whatever it is I have to tell you, meeting at school, doctor's office, bank manager, the normal things of life. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's super powerful and it's super important. Now, you don't have to have your style done to obviously do some of these things. Because, right, anybody can put on a jacket or a coat or a sweater, you can do that. People own them. People typically own some kind of layer. They typically own a scarf or a necklace. It's all doable. You just have to do it. And I also find that people don't wear what they can't see. So if your scarves or your necklaces are tucked in a box, jumbled in the back of the dresser, you're never going to wear them. Get one out. Just get out, hang it beside wherever you get dressed so you can see it.
That's such a good point. You taught me that, to treat my jewelry and accessories as clothes, that it's part of the getting dressed experience, that I'm not done until I've put on all that could be put on for that day. Oh, that's it's got to be there, and you've got to make things easy for ourselves, right? Yeah.
Well, 10 minutes. Sometimes I think intentionally dressing is so important. And apologies to everyone who is not, a mum run off there, feet ragged. But sometimes getting dressed in the morning, that 10 minutes or 15 minutes to shower, and even that's dubious when your children are really young. You might not have that on your own either. But sometimes it's all the time in a day that you have to actually intentionally spend on you.
But I think that's true. It's not just the parents, is it? This is often for all of us who are getting up and presenting ourselves, going off to engage in work, in activities, in caring, in all of the things that take up our daily lives. And I think particularly when we're moving beyond trauma, we are already tired. It's already taking some effort to do this. And this, what you've just shown us, is like, such an easy way to just I might buy myself 1 or 2% more energy, which might help me last till the end of the day.
Yeah, well, and actually it doesn't, so it takes some time to think about what you're going to do, right? It will take some considerations. You don't necessarily have to do that in the morning if that's not where your energy is. Maybe you do it the night before. What do I need for tomorrow? How formal or informal do I need to be? Who will I be seeing? What do I need to get me through the day? Sometimes it's, I just need to cope with going to the supermarket. But even then, you're still going to need to be visible. You're still going to have to, most of the time, deal with somebody while you're there. Or heaven forbid, like people just trample you in the aisles because they don't notice you.
Yeah.
And, so it doesn't matter what you're doing, there will be a point of focus for that day. So you don't need to do all of this all the time.
Tell me about for men then, because there's less opportunity for such a range of accessories and colour and stuff like that. But are the building blocks the same?
Color. Okay, so collars. Coloured shirt, collars. So it could be a polo shirt, it could be a rugby shirt, it could be a golf shirt, but collars instantly elevate your look. A t-shirt with a logo on it looks like a t-shirt with a logo on it, and there's nothing wrong with that if you're going to the gym or you're doing the gardening, or you're going out and about. But if you want that next step up, I would say a collared shirt and a belt. An actual real pair of trousers, not tracksuit bottoms, not jogging bottoms. Pair of, it can be jeans, it can be chinos, it can be khaki trousers. They don't have to be dress trousers, but they need to be proper trousers, and you need to tuck your shirt in and wear a belt, and you will instantly look polished. Wow. And I always tell my women to tuck their shirts in too.
Yeah, I think I recognize in that one there. Yeah, I've been on the receiving end of that. You're like, how does this? What do I need to do here? You're like, belt on, tuck it in.
And I would say the other thing for men, because there's less opportunity generally, certainly in Western culture, for jewelry, a really nice watch can be a really stable. And I know that when I was helping sort your husband out, like, we talked a lot about watches. Watches are important, they're always there, right? So a nice watch can elevate that look as well. Because if you're wearing a nice watch, you're not scrubbing around in the mud, are you?
So it just naturally elevates, and that's what we're looking for. The being visible is to be elevated, and then you're helping yourself be seen, be heard, be credible. Wow, thank you so much. Just remind people, how can they find you if they want more of this stuff? Where do they go?
Sure. I'm on Instagram at House of Colour _Tracey Moys. On Facebook, I'm House of Colour Chattannooga-Hixson. On LinkedIn, I'm Tracey Moys. I don't tweet, so I'm not on Twitter. And I'm not on TikTok. I haven't gone that far yet. And if you want to find a stylist where you are, www.houseofcolour.com or houseofcolour.co.uk. And on both of those, you'll be able to find your local stylist.
Wow. So this, people, no excuses. Tracey, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks for listening, everybody.